thank you for staying with us. It's still conversation. Go ahead.
Yeah, so earlier you were talking, and I don't know if it was off camera, but you mentioned something about we, the people, also have a part to play on how our democracy is run. I'll give you an example. Was in the first term of the Lagos State Governor, the current Lagos State Governor, they impounded some vehicles for different traffic infractions, but especially for those who were taking one way. And I remember during campaigns for this second administration, one of his opposition used that as a campaign strategy, where he says, they're impounding your cars. How much do you people have as Lagosians? They don't care about you. People are crying at the place. But the thing was, those cars were impounded because they were risking lives. Lives were being risked. You take a one-way, an accident happens, an innocent Lagosian is killed because of your misbehavior. But an opposition was able to come and use that to sort of garner, support for himself. And for me, where I'm going with this is, what responsibility should we take as a people for the sort of democracy that we have? Is it only just the politicians that have a problem? How about the Nigerians themselves? We constantly call them out for different things. Oh, they're chopping money. And yet you go to these offices and Nigerians are lined up expecting that monies be handed over to them. And when you don't do that, they'll promise you will not come back to that office the next time.
But you will still come back. Even if they promise you, you will still come back.
But that, by the way, will answer some of YK's concerns, which is that the whole process is expensive. But like Mariah was saying, have you ever taken the time to research how do you actually get elected? How do you get the ticket? Which is what she's trying to refer to. So the expectations of the community, of the public, what are the expectations? There was a time in the political history of Nigeria where actually political party members pay the party. They have dues every month for the party. I know that for sure in UPN. But when was the last time we had that?
So you people are not paying dues like you are like this?
Well, there are dues now. I'm just saying that the way it was
before. Are you paying is the question.
Yeah, I'm paying dues, of course.
But you just said you are not paying now.
I said there was a time
that you are paying dues. Yeah. So that means that now party members are not paying dues. So it is those dues that you are supposed to use to conduct elections. But what is happening now is that there are some big wigs in the political parties that are the ones sponsoring the election. So those are the ones that will be making
and so you have to make the money and pay the money
to spend. And so the other ones who don't have the money will be quiet. You'll be looking, yes sir, 3 bags or so anything. So until we start to do it right, the democracy cannot work. We have to do it right. And that's my point. And I'm not saying that, military was the best thing. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is this one that we are doing better than that one? How? Give me examples. Because we can sit on this show and be making mouth and during military. But that's not true. During the military, there were still some people that were talking.
Like Delegiwa? Or who?
There were
people, a lot of people. Seun Kuti was thrown in prison. Falana was in prison. Akabasharu was in prison for talking. So today, there are people that are talking right now. They are still in their houses.
Excuse me.
What happened to her dad when he was talking?
Her dad.
Yeah, well, he talked a lot, but what happened to him?
He was talking. They beat him. And look, those were the people with confidence. They talked. So today, we still look up to them. That's why today you can still be mentioning their names. It's not that you will be quiet and be saying anything else. There were some people that had the confidence to come out to talk. They are the people that fought for where we are today. But what are the rest of us now doing? We are keeping quiet, looking.
You sit on this and you don't keep quiet.
We can't fight now because if you talk, it can be a problem.
No, but we talk here. Why can't you talk?
Excuse me. There are some people that today they are in jail. We don't even know. We have not even heard where they are.
Okay, YK, nobody saying you're not right. But I also know that the government has intelligence where there's a system that is sponsoring various groups within our country, with various entities to fuel a lot of unrest in different groups. We are not privy to all this information, but we know that during the elections, there are a lot of systematic movements to ensure that there are certain groups were affected. Even we saw it during NSAS. It was somewhat fueled because not first time we're protesting. A lot of people use the opportunity. You know what? This time for us to throw some crackers in there and see what happens. People are determined to use that opportunity to break the country apart. But it just stays a sovereign nation like ours to sustain it. During that time, I remember the governor then said, what are your grievances? I will carry your grievances to the president. During the military, who is coming to come and see you, come and address you? He's gone, use the military, you see that they'll be shooting at you. But this time around, they were willing to engage. Yes, things went on eventually. But the thing is that people knew that we can be heard and then we can get a response from government.
Morayo, there was a time during Abacha that they came out to protest. When Abacha brought out tank, everybody ran inside. During NSAS, what happened? Did they bring out tank or did they not bring out tank?
Did they?
They did.
After like 5 or 6 days.
Yes,
but it was after things started deteriorating. It didn't come out immediately. Abasa will come and meet you immediately. He doesn't want you to start
it didn't go into violence before they brought out the tanks. So it was after the tanks that there was violence. Let's remember
that.
No, during this NSAS.
Abacha didn't even wait for you to be violent or not. Just show them the tank. Everybody will run inside.
You know, your generation and generations before you, they understand when I see military, they run.
Yes,
but these new guys,
we only see it in Hollywood movies.
So they for the audacity to confront a soldier is like people like Alpha be wondering, you see soldier, you're still standing. So but the truth is that it's a different world. But I agree that we must argue these things. Yeah. But the truth is there's been some progress. And as a nation and as a people, if we don't recognize it consciously, we'll continue to bring ourselves back to basics. I'll go back. Sorry, I just got back from China. So you hear of China. The way they speak, like when you're talking to somebody, it's like the president himself is talking. They're speaking with so much pride. Because right in their presence, I was in a city called Shenzhen. Shenzhen practically started developing in 1992. Like the whole city of Shenzhen practically just started. 92. And they started building it, and it was deliberate. They then came to actually, they intentionally wanted to build a city, and you could see the pictures. So the thing is that it was deliberate. The point I'm trying to make is that all these conversations we have is because we are not ripe. We need, that's how I feel. Yes. If imagine we're a nation of people who are like people who are a bit more enlightened and exposed, maybe it will be different. But the truth, we need leadership. Yeah. Yes. We need somebody. That's why Obasanjo wanted to do third term. Yes. Remember, we're all against it because we understand. Looking at it in hindsight.
Not that because we didn't understand, but because we are in hindsight. It was not because we did not understand. It was because we understood very well what our rights were. And that also goes to the point where I say that Nigerians will not stand for one person, one dictator, no matter how patriotic he is, because they believe that they have rights and they can make contributions. But having listened to you, I have to say that there's a part of me that sees your point in the sense that when you do have one person, and if you're lucky, that person is patriotic and wants the best for you, can lead you a certain way in the right path. Unfortunately for you, you cannot determine a human being and what they'll do going forward. And I'm sure in that China, there are cases as well. After all, we still see cases of corruption today, and how they deal with it is another matter. But it shows that a human being can change. Someone comes in with good intentions, seems to be going the right way, and then he'll flip on us. And in Nigeria, we've seen too many of that happen. We have stood up for some candidates who we were so sure of that when they entered in the first 2 years, the third year, they showed us that we were here. Yes.
When Lamido Sanusi spoke about subsidy removal, the entire nation, because we lack understanding, we work against it. Never. How can you remove subsidy? Everybody, even the poor Jonathan, he had to concede. He didn't get it because our thinking at the time did not understand why would you remove subsidy because of the poverty that was going to follow us. Yeah. Now the same thing. Why can I know what you want to say? I know what you want to say. Calm down. I'll come to you.
You don't know what I want to say.
I know what you want to say. Because yes, this president has come in and removed subsidy. as much as many of us don't agree with this, but many people also see the reason behind it.
Yes.
And all the candidates were all in agreement. Like, this was necessary. But why didn't we take that step during Jonathan's time? Because the people lacked understanding.
No.
No.
Because in that situation too,
yes,
the people, the opposition fought against the fuel subsidy. They knew that Jonathan was right, but it was the opposition that fueled the people that came out to fight against fuel subsidy. So, and we didn't know anything. I still don't agree with fuel subsidy. As I'm sitting here, I can say the truth, but I'm just telling you that even then, it was fueled against Jonathan's government by the opposition. One. Now, I want to go to China. You see China, what happened to China? Why China? Because China was agreed it was not a democracy, was all this. But in 1989, there was the Tiananmen Square where they executed students who went on protests.
I'm telling you, there's a cost.
They killed all of them. And then what happened?
There's a cost.
What happened?
Collateral damages happened.
What happened?
Not my time.
What happened was that there were sanctions against them. So everybody ignored, the whole world ignored China. And China said, okay. They now went back and looked inwards. And then they started to develop. Because there was nobody answering them at that time. And today, everybody is looking. China, yes, sir.
Yes.
Come and buy my land. You want?
I have to go on a break.
So,
I have to go on a break. I know that I guess
I have some meter. I'm not sure.
Seun Kuti is going to be joining us in a moment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.